Hi everybody, I'm Angie Lynn.
And I'm Jonathan Thomas. And this is the news. Alright, so Fidelity Investments recently found that 55% of people aged 18 to 35 have stopped planning for retirement due to concerns over climate change. In an effort to convince these people to invest more, Fidelity is now offering with its 401ks personal flotation devices.
Elon Musk is threatening to walk away from his bid to buy Twitter, claiming the social media giant won't turn over metrics on robot accounts. Aw, he's looking for his family.
The Canadian government announced that it will decriminalize some drugs in British Columbia for 3 years. This policy change decriminalizes the possession of a cumulative 2.5 grams of opioids, cocaine, methamphetamine, and MDMA. Or as Keith Richards once called it, my morning coffee.
In Alaska, 48 candidates are vying for a seat in the U.S. House, most notable among them Sarah Palin and Santa Claus. That's not a joke, she's running. But there really is a person whose legal name is Santa Claus running for the House in Alaska. He promises to bring universal health care to all the good girls and boys. But he faces criticism on his stance on labor unions and animal rights.
President Biden, seen here remembering that he's president, is said to be upset that his approval rating is lower than President Trump's was at the same point in Trump's presidency. In an effort to match Trump's rating, Biden has asked to be investigated by Robert Mueller and has hired Ivanka.
The house that inspired The Conjuring recently sold for $1.54 million. The buyers are facing backlash from the local community, and strange signs are already beginning to appear at the house. You're not going to believe this, but I made that graphic.
Ringland Circus is returning in 2023 without any of its animal acts. The circus stopped performing with animals after complaints of cruelty, including a report that it restrained its elephants so tightly the animals incurred deep and painful lesions. So when it returns, instead of using animals, the circus will use furries who are into that.
In honor of Pride Month, Burger King released a limited edition Pride Whopper, which comes with either 2 top buns or 2 bottom buns. That's just the headline. But seriously, thank you, Burger King. Because what the LGBTQ plus community really needs is a worse version of a bad sandwich and a reminder that it's never going to work out with their crush.
Jason Adam, one of 5 players on the Tampa Bay Rays who refused to wear an LGBTQ plus logo on his uniform, compared being LGBTQ to cheating on his wife. Tampa Bay fans are likely to be disappointed again next month when Adam does not participate in the team's annual adultery night at the park.
In Norway, IKEA is offering a registry of furniture-inspired names to help new parents christen their babies. IKEA wants us to remind you that while they can help you name little Fjordjamen, you will still have to build it yourself.
According to the New York Times, dogs born and adopted during the pandemic are having a difficult time adjusting to their owners returning to the office. And cats born and adopted during the pandemic are waiting for you to leave so they can change the locks.
picture of a cat I've ever seen. This cat isn't happy.
Wants you to leave. The locksmith is on its way.
He looks like the jailer from Pirates of the Caribbean. JetBlue and Frontier are in a bidding war to buy Spirit Air. No word yet as to why. JetBlue is sweetening the deal by offering Spirit Air the same thing they'll charge you for a cool $1,500, an extra 2 inches of legroom and a nice cold ginger ale.
Dr. Oz, seen here exercising his constitutional right to be a tool, won the Republican nomination for Senate in Pennsylvania. Oz, who is a heart surgeon, historically held liberal views but has abandoned those positions to fit into the current Republican Party. He is now against abortion, against gun control, and against having a heart.
In Albany, a courthouse was shut down after someone released hundreds of cockroaches during a hearing. Still not the most disgusting thing to happen in a courtroom in the last couple of months. Sidebar, so the news said that this happened because an altercation broke out. Listen, if you collect hundreds of roaches and bring the world's worst sack lunch to court, you're never not gonna release them. You're never gonna be like, maybe I overreacted, I'm gonna take these back home. You were always gonna release the roaches.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, seen here showing us how many friends he has, suffered a political setback this week when more than 40% of conservative lawmakers voted against him in a no-confidence vote. In good news for Johnson, 100% of conservative lawmakers voted in favor of appointing him a new hairstylist.
Documents dating back to the 1950s were recently unearthed, detailing U.S. plans to handle apocalyptic scenarios. And based on how things are going, I'm gonna guess they looked something like this.
With the overruling of Roe v. Wade and the ending of the right to abortion in America, Republican-led states are considering whether to outlaw certain forms of birth control, including IUDs and Plan B. As of yet, however, no state has proposed a ban on the most effective form of birth control: bring a baby on a five-hour flight.
I heard someone go, that's true. All right, he wears 3. The world's largest bottle of whiskey sold at auction last month for $1.4 million. The bottle stands 5 foot 11 inches and contains 82.16 gallons of whiskey, or as it's known to Brett Kavanaugh, a double. He's fine.
Yeah,
Don't
he's
offer
okay.
him. He's okay. I didn't realize this was his room.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, seen here pretending that she's meeting her hero in 1940s Germany, predicted that in about 4 or 5 generations, no one will be straight, everyone will be either gay or trans or non-conforming. As a gay person, let me tell you, that's not our goal. We're not trying to add to our ranks. It's already hard enough to find a place to stay in Fire Island, okay?
Exact quote was, everyone will either be gay, trans, or non-conforming, or whatever the list of 50 or 60 options there are. That is such a large and specific number. I would give anything to hear her list those off like Bubba from Forrest Gump naming shrimp. Tag yourself, I'm a genderqueer pansexual scampi. Jonathan, if you were a shrimp, what kind of shrimp would you be?
I'm Italian and gay and a little spicy, so I would say shrimp fag diavolo. That's me.
I didn't know you were going to say that. And now, we have a very special guest for you coming to the stage. Here to talk about what's going on in the art world is Bushwick's premier art critic. Get it going! Pistachio!
My name is Pistachio. And I like my men like I like my clothes. Older than me.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Pistachio. Can you tell us a little bit about what's been going on in your world?
There is a new and exciting event in the art world next week. An open to the public, for-profit, privately owned event called Art Basel. And if you don't know what that is, it's like Coachella for rich people who don't know what Coachella is. One of the hottest new art forms in the world is an NFT. And if you don't know what an NFT is, don't worry, no one does. One of the premier buyers. It is being legitimized by one of the most exclusive, most refined talents we've ever seen in our life. Paris Hilton. A crypto evangelical who has scoured the digital realm for wellness, iTunes visualizations that can be categorized other than that's fucking bullshit.
Tell us more.
Well, I'd like to. But first, many people ask, are you from Budapest? Are you from Morocco? So, to end the conspiracy theories, here is a short film about where I'm from.